Hello guys, Man of Matter Reviews here, and I just wanted to make a quick video about something that's been kind of bothering me for a while now. I use kind of this Photoshop thing here that you can see as kind of a visual representation of what I wanted to show you, which is luck-based or RNG-based endgame content for MMORPGs, obviously as you can see from the title. And what I like to show you is very simple. So let's say that the max level in the game is 60, right? So max level in the game is 60. So I'm gonna just draw the line there. Let me just quickly take a better brush that's not so freaking weird. Where are you? There you are. Okay, better. So every player, let's say we have 5 players, right? So this is the 60, level 60, and we have 5 players all on even ground once they get to level 60, right? All 5 players are in the exact same playing field, right? Now let's say that daily each of them runs 5 dungeons. So right, 5 dungeons daily. Let's say all of them do 5 daily quests and 5 raid runs, right? So each player does 5 of these things every day. Now let's say a week passed, right? So this here marks the week. And this is what will happen with the bullshit RNG slash luck based system. Number 1 player will get here, number 2 player will get here, number 3 player will get here, number 4 player will get here, and number 5 player might go even to the maximum possible, gear wise in a week. So what does this mean? Each of these 5 players has run the same amount of, dungeons, the same amount of raids, and done the same amount of daily quests every day, right? But because of the bullshit luck-based RNG system, one of them is heavily rewarded, while one is severely punished when compared with others. So again, to repeat, starting on the same field at level 60, every player starts on the same field, but because of the bullshit RNG system that's tied to the endgame content, every player will, within first month, reach the kind of a different playing field if they just don't pay shit, right? They don't buy any boxes, any enchantments, none of that shit, just based on the dungeon drops and enchantments of gear, because that's the most common thing that's kind of tied to the MMORPG late game nowadays. So every player will wind up at a different playing field within first month, despite the fact that they basically did the same amount of content, the same amount of times as every other player involved. So this creates really insanely retarded playing field when it comes to endgame. That doesn't make any sense. These spikes should not be here when it comes to endgame of MMORPGs. Every player, right, every player that dedicates the same amount of time should get to the same point. So every player should be at the most even playing field so that we get this line here, right? 5 dungeons a day, 5 raids a day, 5 daily quests a day for the entire month, every player standing on the same line. But because of the randomness of the current MMORPG endgame, this is virtually impossible to replicate, especially once we include more and more players, because 5 players is small sample size. If we include hundreds of players that will be trying to reach, the end game and do the content, this graph will look like a fucking heartbeat or something, right? It will be all over the place because no player will be at the same ground if they just playing the game, not paying for anything, right? We're excluding any type of thing you can buy in the shop that can help you with the enchanting your gear or whatever. So this type of endgame content needs to be absolutely nullified, absolutely gone from MMORPGs, because luck-based systems aren't skill-based, right? So you can have, I'm not saying you can't have luck-based system like the chance of dropping a better gear. That's something that the players can look forward to. But a simple solution is, so we have 2 graphs here, like this is 0, this here is 0, and this here is number 50. So what this represents is the number of times that you ran a single dungeon. There is a simple piece of gear that you want in that dungeon, right? but you're not getting it. After 50, 100, 150 tries, simply not dropping or you're not getting it because other players are getting it. So implement a system, whereas after a certain number of times you cleared a single dungeon, you get a pop-up that basically gives you option to pick the most suitable gear that's droppable in that dungeon for your class. This nullifies heavily the idea of RNG. Doesn't fix it, no, but it nullifies it and it makes it a little bit more sane. And that's all we ask from the endgame content, to be a little bit more sane and not so insanely luck based, where it's not satisfying when you get something you need, but rather it's basically relief. And we don't need reliefs, we need excitement, exciting times. So that's really all I really wanted to say in this short, kind of shortish video, I guess. I didn't articulate it rather well, I'm pretty sure, because I didn't write a script or anything for this and just went into quickly kind of lay out my frustrations, but I hope you get the point. And I know I'm not the only one who has issues with these systems, and I hope that more and more players will kind of speak out against this system, so we can finally have it fixed in the next big or whatever MMO that comes out, or the current most popular MMOs will take note and slowly start kind of nullifying this luck-based endgame content grind that's just frustrating. Really, that's all there is to it. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and see you next time.